TESOL Pop, Season 11, Episode 3. Hello and welcome to TESOL Pop, the mini podcast for busy teachers. I'm your host, Laura Wilkes, and I'm joined today by the founder of Amazy, Kate Bodrova, to talk about how technology is positively impacting our teaching lives. Now, I'm really excited for you to hear about what Amazy does and all the wonderful things that Kate and her team are building that save us time, engage our learners, and create media-rich resources. I'm also excited to hear about the trends that she sees happening in EdTech right now and how technology is supporting greater human connection rather than diluting it. So let's jump to the conversation where Kate introduces Amazy and all the fantastic things her platform does.
Amazy.uk is basically the platform that helps teachers create and share educational content with their audience, other teachers or students. Well, mainly students. What they do, they create one lesson plan, a course, or several lesson plans, and they share it with their students. They track progress. They keep all materials in one place. Because Amazy has lots of tools to create interactive exercises, it's becoming quite popular among the audience. So you can create various exercises with Amazy, like gap filling exercises, tests, lead-in activities. You can create charts, tables. You can add different media files, upload videos, or add links from YouTube that transform into videos. And that's really convenient to keep everything in one place. Also, you can create audio exercises. You can record your voice. You can give your students the same task, like please record your voice to complete some speaking activities, etc., etc. And that's how you use it.
It's amazing that you're using like the full range of the palette. Like I like to think of media as like a artist's palette. And you mentioned there, it's not just gap fill, text and pictures and things like that, but it's also audio and embedded videos, like you said as well. So it's a really enriched experience when it comes to creating the materials that you have on Amazy.
That's right. And you can also share not only you can send the link to your lessons, not only to your students privately, but you can also share it publicly on Amazy public community, which we moderate because we don't want any content there that breaks copyrights or is sensitive, but still you can showcase your talent. And this is what helps you go there, be there and get feedback, show what you can do in terms of professional skills. And then what people usually do, the teachers who use Amazy, the schools who use Amazy, they also share these links to public content on their social media. And this is how they engage with their audience.
Like showcasing what it's like to study with them, their style of teaching, the topics they cover. I can imagine that's really beneficial for those teachers who are running their own businesses or are freelancers, to have kind of a portfolio that they can share. And like you say, inspire others too, support the teaching community.
Yeah, and you can browse. If you're out of ideas, you can get there some inspiration as well. You can connect with professionals from your sector. Is it English as a foreign language or business teachers or even those who train other teachers, teacher trainers, and soft skills coaches?
It's fantastic. It ticks so many things that I know our listeners for TESOL Pop ask about and talk about. And that's like the limited time. So having access to resources that you can share with others and get inspired by others. And also that engagement aspect of really having enriched materials that your students can engage in that involves a range of media that you can use at your fingertips. And also just the fact that it's also stored in a place where you can access it easily and it's all in one place. And again, that kind of builds sustainable workflows for the busy teachers like the ones listening, we really, really need. So I know you're at the forefront of EdTech. You're very much engaged in this EdTech space of creating things, and you see the trends that are happening in this space. And I wonder, what sort of things are you seeing in EdTech now, and the transformations and positive impact it's having on educators particularly?
So, of course, AI is here, and we cannot say it's not, right? The technology is here, it's in the classroom, and we should now understand how we should live with that, how we should embrace it, and how we should use it for the good, for our own benefits, right? So I know some of the educators that have the idea that AI may replace teachers in the futures. We do not see at Amazy, we do not believe this trend is real and it's really happening because in our opinion and in my personal opinion, what is happening is that yes, teachers are using more and more of AI and different technologies. We're becoming more tech proficient, and we are realizing more and more about the technology in the classroom. So the good thing is that it really helps us to transform, to make this transition from educators to creators. And the difference here is not only in like creative industries or the fact that everyone is now a blogger or an influencer, but the difference between a teacherpreneur and a creator in education is that freelancers, teacherpreneurs, they need to work actively to make money. But creators are people who are continuing generating income even if they are not actively working right now. So the platforms like Amazy and AI features, AI technologies, different technologies, they help us to put teachers on this new level, on this renaissance age of technologies and education, where every teacher is now a free person. We can create without permission. We can transform into many from one, because when you work alone, you are limited in many things like time, experience, expertise, etc., mental health, right? But with the help of technologies, you can become many different people from different backgrounds, right? Using ChatGPT, for example, you can become an expert in any field. I'm not saying that this can replace your 5 years of education or 6 years of education, of course, but still, like, you can learn so many things from that, and you can use it in the classroom, obviously. So what teachers do at Amazy, they use this. We have 16 tools to create interactive tasks, and we have AI that can generate text for you, obviously. And then just in one click, you can transform your text-based task into an interactive exercise. It saves you huge amount of time, huge amount of money. So you just in 1 hour, you can generate more content that you used to be able to, right? Like, remember 1 year ago or 2 years ago, what was happening, right? So that's the transaction.
That's a huge thing, isn't it? That's a huge benefit for educators to kind of be able to streamline things, be able to save a lot of time on that creative process, and really create tailored content as well with the support of AI, and not have to try and do everything themselves unsupported. Are there any other trends in EdTech that you see that are really having a big impact?
So this creator economy shift, the AI happening there, and also what I see now, I think now it's the time for educators to start collecting the data that they are generating when they are working. In terms of like the whole process, pre-production, when you create content for your courses, for your short lessons, for anything that you are involved in, to the whole teaching process where you actively teach, you work with your audience, your emotional support that you provide your students with, and the feedback that you give your students at the end of the lesson, the way you analyze everything. So the trend is now people are starting to collect this data, because then the more data you have, the better you can utilize these AI tools. Because the idea behind AI is to give the very detailed instructions, right? And your instruction for this or that machine can be better if you provide the machine with like the huge amount of data, because this is how it works.
So what you're saying is like having good prompts with the data enables you to get better results.
I would say your prompt is your authentic self. I think the prompt should be, you should give it like more context about what is happening in your professional area, what exactly you teach, what kind of like materials you use, what is your unique teaching style, what approaches you use in the classroom, etc., etc. This is your prompt. You are your prompt. So you should digitalize yourself, collect this data about yourself, about your authenticity.
And that way, I guess AI is able to work with you better because you're able to train it on what's unique about you, your students, and therefore get better results rather than just being general.
Exactly. And this is what we're also doing with Amazy. So it collects your data about the whole workflow that is happening at your lessons, before your lessons, and after your lessons. So this is how it helps you in the future to train your own AI clone, to become the new version of yourself where you have your digital copy that works for you and that helps you a lot. It's not just a regular teacher assistant that is now becoming a buzzword, this AI assistant. I don't want any AI assistant. I want my second version, me. I want me.
This is really exciting what you mentioned. You've covered things like teacherpreneurship in platforms like Amazy, creating opportunities for teachers to explore other aspects of what they're already doing, actually, but do it in a way that they can share. You've also talked about AI in a way that enables us to work more kind of efficiently and more streamlined rather than having to repeat the same sort of tasks, and enable us to scale, and also to be able to train it in a way that really enables it to work for our context specifically. I know even though we're talking about all these positive things, listeners still may feel a bit of trepidation around the pace of technology and just how quickly things are moving. And I know I do read things online about folk feeling like it may dilute the human to human connection that is so crucial when it comes to teaching and learning. And I wonder what your take is on that, because I imagine you're also having similar conversations with clients who you're bringing on board and teachers who you're welcoming onto Amazy.
The huge power behind every human is connection, right? There is this phrase that I really adore, which is, the technology is here, right? So we can now create like gods. That was never possible before, but we should be connecting like humans still. So create like a god, connect like a human. And that's really important, especially in such sector as education. Education is all about connection. You probably remember your first experience, the positive experience in the classroom as a learner, when you really felt that connection, that level of connection between you and your teacher, who would say, like, maybe not directly, but with their behavior, who would say, look, I know you're talented. You can do it. I believe in you. And that's the power of connection that you're building with your audience, with your customers, with your students, with your colleagues, with your community. Nobody is going to take it from you. Technologies is never going to take it from you, because this is the technology. It has nothing human, right? All human features that it has are there only because you bring it there. So it depends on you, and you connect, and then you just make the process smarter with the help of technologies. But your core idea is connection. I remember there was this article 5 years ago. It was, or 6 years ago, Financial Times, I guess it was, about the power of technologies in the modern developing world. So the idea was that soon, well, in 10 years, maybe earlier, maybe later, the real time of a real human will cost millions of dollars in comparison to technologies, because even even it was 2018, I guess, that time, if you were rich, you could afford having a personal coach, having these one-on-one sessions with you and having fitness with them. They would go to your house, they would come to your house, you would have this conversation, the real human in your apartment, helping you make the new progress in your sports, right? But then if you couldn't afford that, you would just buy an app to train at home. That's it. The same in education, like the real connection is very expensive. The real human is becoming very expensive because technologies can do lots of things now. So our core idea, our core skill is connecting to others. This is why we were born, like not why, but this is the skill we were born with.
And I think we're so lucky that in the time we live in right now is, if there are certain repetitive tasks that we're doing, I'm thinking marking as an example. It used to take up a huge amount of time when I was a teacher. But I'm sure now there's technology like the marking systems and tracking systems you mentioned on Amazy that can just enable us to be a lot more efficient, so we can create more space for the actual student on teacher and teacher with students time, which is so valuable, rather than all our time being gobbled up by repetitive tasks that a tool could help us streamline and potentially create more space for creativity and human connection.
Exactly. And some teachers just say, oh my God, technology is learning so fast. So we are also learning so fast, so quickly now, even quicker because we have all the technologies. We learn faster. We're becoming smarter every day.
I love the fact that we had such a wonderful, positive conversation today. Thank you, Kate, so much for sharing about EdTech and sharing about Amazy as well. It's been really lovely talking to you.
Thank you, Laura.
To find out more about Amazy and to follow Kate's journey, click on the links below in the show notes so you can check out Amazy and also connect with Kate on LinkedIn. As always, if you have an idea or a question that you'd like to pitch, you can contact us on social media or the website tsopop.com. Finally, you can support us by sharing today's episode to continue the conversation with your teaching community, by leaving a rating review wherever you listen to the podcast, or by even buying us a coffee. Now, wouldn't that be nice? By going to ko-fi.com/tsopop.